Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
This is file number 251802. People versus Andrew Shug. I saw this come through and my heart kind of fell. You're charged with driving suspended. That's a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Carries 2 points on your driving record and requires that your license be suspended. This points out how hard it is to keep your interlock device after you graduate from sobriety court. So at some point you lost your interlock?
Yeah, Your Honor, from what I understand, what I've done with the phone calls and figured out and looked through my notes, I have it marked as December 1st or November 1st, I'm sorry, of 24. The interlock company had it marked at October, Halloween 31st. My car did die on the 31st, and it was in a position in 3 Rivers in the driveway to where I couldn't get a car to jump it, so I had to put a battery charger on it. And we went to Constantine to watch fireworks, and I came back and I got it started in the morning. And I have it marked here that I got it started at 7:37 in the morning. But
So do you have a hearing to try to get it back?
no, I've been paying for this. I just got it taken out of my car 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I've been paying for this since then and didn't know. And the Secretary of State sent me a piece of mail to an address that I wasn't living at, and that's kind of,
Well, that's on you.
I
Because
understand that.
they send a Secretary of State mail to the address on your driver's license and they don't forward it. So if you don't change your address, although your driving record is unclear, may operate vehicle equipped with a breath interlock device and 3/22/27. It says you're revoked, but you may operate with and it doesn't say that's revoked. So let's see what the ticket says. It was 10 o'clock at night, Washington Locust Street in Constantine. Anyway, you've had an opportunity to meet with Mr. Bush from Constantine. Mr. Bush, what's your suggestion?
It is my understanding that he has been talking or has talked with the Secretary of State. And I believe that he is eligible to be relicensed in December of this year. Is that correct?
That's what they told me on the telephone when I talked to them.
And if that is true and that is correct, I would request the court adjourn this thing until sometime late December. If he gets a license back or gets licensed, I will reduce it down to something where he isn't going to lose it, probably allowing an improper person to drive.
Okay.
I would set it for a pretrial at that time.
Party court restrictions. Anyway, we've discussed this. When you're in sobriety court, we can run interference for you with the driver license appeal division. When you graduate, you're on your own. And
Does the court have a copy of his driving record?
I do, it's confusing to me. He also, at one point, I think might have gone in front of Judge Stutzman. The other thing is that interlock isn't full privileges, but may appeal violation within 14 days. That was a year ago. All right, you believe you're eligible to get it back in December?
Yeah, when I called the Secretary of State to figure out what was going on, she told me that they she gave me the information about mailing the address, like you had just said, that they only keep the address they have on file. But she said, yes, I was eligible December of 25 for my driver's license again.
All right, well, let's set this for a Christmas present. December 18th. At 8:30. Defendant will attempt to get license back. What are you doing?
Right, I filed for disability after I got out of sobriety court for my hands.
Oh, you're not doing construction anymore?
I mean, kind of on my own house. We moved from the city. We were at 703 and on Broadway, and we moved out to South River Road, got a couple acres, house. on the
Yeah,
river
because
there.
your address shows as 131.
That's the one that the Secretary of State had, yes. That was where I was
Well, you
living
gotta
when
change
sobriety
it.
court.
Are you still hooked up with your church?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to hear that. Not that you're hooked up with your church, that you're filed for disability.
Yeah, it's been tough. Dealing with, not doing as much as I'm used to doing.
This is 3 months from now, so it might be easy to lose track of it. So put this on your refrigerator.
Yes, sir.
And let's come in and bring proof of a license, and Mr. Bush can give you some consideration. Otherwise, you're gonna be on the driving suspended merry-go-round forever. I don't see here what
Thank
you're
you.
telling me, but I can't always discern what these driving records mean. Yours is confusing. So don't drive anymore. I see you had someone drive you here today.
Yes, sir.
Let's see how you're doing in December.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Bush. Let's see how Abigail is doing. They're still talking. Let's talk to our old friend Vincent Caldwell. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
This is file number 251801 ST, People versus Vincent Martucci Caldwell. I always figure you had some Italians in your family tree. You got charged with driving suspended, first offense, same as the last guy. That's a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. It was on M86 and Angevine between here and Mendon. Let's see what your driving record shows. Shows that you are revoked. You got lots of baggage on here. How do you want to plead to that charge, Mr. Caldwell?
Not guilty.
All right, you want me to appoint a lawyer for you?
Yes.
What are you doing these days? I haven't seen you in a while. I thought you
Working,
moved
working,
away
working.
or something. What?
Working.
Where are you working?
IEC.
All right.
Admin.
That, so you were on your way to work?
Mhm.
Are you missing work right now?
Yes.
I apologize. But we do this in the morning. You work first shift?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm actually finna start a new job that's gonna be second, so
All right, well, I'll show a plea not guilty. Appoint an attorney. Set attorney pretrial for this October 3rd. At 8:30. You got a couple problems. You got more than one drunk driving. And that revokes your license. It makes it very hard to get it back. You got also a driving suspended in here. You haven't had one for years, but you had 3 of them. And so you are revoked, which is different than suspended. You gotta jump through a lot of hoops to get your license back when you're revoked. You also were driving back to the future in Indiana going 88 miles an hour. So I'm not sure what to say here. Are you doing anything to try to get your license back?
like you said, you gotta go through all these hoops. They just give me the runaround.
Well, it's very difficult to do it by yourself. Mr. Taylor's office, Fred Taylor, they run an ad and they say it's a process. And they're right, it's a difficult process. They're good at it. But you don't just show up and say, hey, I haven't had a drunk driving in 6 years or any kind of ticket. Can I get my license back? There's a bunch you gotta do, and they wanna know whether you're still drinking and whether what your status is. If you get convicted of this, you're gonna pay a fine, and I'm gonna give you some time to pay it. But it would go on your driving record and further suspend your license. So if you want me to appoint a lawyer, I'll appoint one. You do have a little, let's see what time this was. Yeah, 5:31 a.m. Consider, Abby, thank you for your help this morning. I've got another guy who was charged with no insurance, and he now has proof that he actually was insured. He has it with him.
Okay,
And normally you would reduce those to no proof of insurance. Are you willing to talk to him also?
yeah, of course.
All right. Mr. Holton, I'd like you to show the assistant prosecutor your insurance papers, and then she can let me know what to do. Anyway, thank you. Why don't you go with her? Thanks. Let me have that, Joe. You just have a seat. Just sit down.
Tome un asiento.
All right, so is that what you want to do? Get a lawyer to help you with this? All right.
Yes, sir.
I want you to go out to the counter and they'll appoint a lawyer for it. It means you're gonna have to come back again. Where's your new job gonna be?
In Schoolcraft.
All right. Well, either way, you're gonna need a driver's license to get back and forth to work. And you haven't even got off the first base to process to get your license back, other than think about it. So, all right, we'll send you out to the counter. We'll get a lawyer for you, and I'll see you on October 3rd at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Good.
All right, we're doing all right. All right. Mr. Gonzalez Arredondo, would you come back up?
Señor González Arredondo, por favor, pase al podio nuevamente.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's that guy, Joe. I sent him out there. Yeah. You had an opportunity to meet with the assistant prosecutor.
Tuvo la oportunidad de hablar con la subagente del Ministerio Público
And I appreciate her help.
y agradezco su ayuda.
She's going to dismiss the ticket for impeding traffic.
Ella va a desestimar el cargo por obstacularizar la circulación de tránsito.
That's going to save you $105.
Eso le va a ahorrar $105.
You're going to plead guilty to having no proof of insurance in the vehicle.
Usted va a contestar culpable a que no traía el comprobante de seguro de auto en el vehículo.
Okay.
That's a civil infraction. It's punishable by a fine of up to $150.
Es una infracción civil. Conlleva una multa de hasta $150.
It's not a crime.
No es delito.
Yes, that's Mr. Holt. Then you're also gonna plead to driving without having a valid license. That's
También-
punishable.
También va a contestar culpable al cargo de conducir sin licencia.
That's punishable by a fine of up to $500 and up to 90 days in jail.
Eso conlleva la máxima penalidad posible hasta $500 de multa y hasta 90 días de cárcel.
Do you understand?
¿Entiende usted eso?
Sí.
Yes.
At least the mystery is solved. I wonder where that peep was coming from, and now I know. All right. Did anyone threaten you to try to get you to plead to these charges?
¿Alguien le amenazó para que contestara culpable?
No, señor.
No, sir.
Or promise you anything?
¿O le prometieron algo?
No.
No.
When you were driving the car that day, did you have proper insurance on the car?
Cuando estaba conduciendo aquel día, ¿usted tenía el seguro de auto adecuado sobre el auto?
No, el seguro del auto estaba vencido. Sí lo traía,
No.
pero estaba vencido porque me pasé con 2 días de no pagar.
No, I did have the proof of insurance there, but it had expired 2 days earlier because I
All right.
didn't pay it.
That's sufficient.
Es suficiente.
The fine and cost for that is $150.
La multa para eso son 150.
Sí, está bien.
Can you pay that today or do you need time?
¿Puede pagar ese monto hoy o necesita tiempo para pagar?
Hoy mismo.
Today I can.
All right. They also allege you didn't have a valid operator's license.
También
you weren't
alegan que usted no tenía una licencia vigente.
Did you have a license to drive a vehicle in the state of Michigan at that time?
Tenía una licencia de Michigan para poder manejar el vehículo en ese momento.
No, yo no tengo licencia.
No, I don't have a license.
Solamente que yo no manejo aquí en Michigan. Solamente
don't-
que ese día por causas del trabajo tenía que manejar.
I don't drive here in Michigan just because of something at work. I had to drive that day.
You have a right to get back and forth to work?
¿Usted tiene reitero que le lleva y le trae del trabajo?
Me llevan y me traen de trabajo mi patrón.
My boss takes me and brings me home.
Very good.
Muy bien.
The fine for that is $100.
La multa para eso son $100.
And there is a $125 of costs that go to the state of Michigan.
$125 de costos que va al estado de Michigan.
So the total is $225.
El total para esa multa son 225.
So the total that you owe is $375.
El total global son $375 para los dos.
De todas las multas.
Altogether, correct?
Yes.
Así es.
Can you pay all of that today?
¿Puede pagar ese monto total el día de hoy o necesita tiempo?
Sí, señor.
Yes, I
Hoy
can.
mismo.
Today.
How did you get here today?
¿Cómo llegó aquí el día de hoy?
Me trajo el patrón.
My boss brought me here.
All right, very good. I'm gonna have the court officer take you out to the counter. You can pay your fine and don't drive anymore, okay?
Muy bien, le voy a pedir que el alguacil le acompañe a la ventanilla para pagar y no puede manejar.
Sí, gracias.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you, Vivian. I'll see you this afternoon. We'll work on our next batch of cases.
No more customers this morning. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Tiffany, Rob? Good morning. You've been sitting here patiently watching us. It takes 3 times as long to do things through an interpreter. So we'll maybe speed up a little bit here. Plus that one had some wrinkles in it. This is file 251739 SM. Are you Tiffany Beth Robb?
Yes.
You got a ticket for no insurance and no plate. Those often go hand in hand. I call it driving while poor.
Yep.
Do you have insurance now?
Yes.
And a
I have
plate now?
registration.
All right, very good. I'm gonna ask you to have a seat if you would.
Okay.
We'll see if the assistant prosecutor can meet with you. The prosecutor has finally gotten to where they're fully staffed. They're allocated 5 positions and they've been short-staffed for a long time. And they finally have 5 and I think we got someone to help us this morning. So I have a seat.
All right. Thank
We'll
you.
have Ms. Stoll see in a minute and they can give you some consideration. Did you drive here from Paw Paw this morning? Okay, thanks. All right, that's the best way when they come in and got everything squared away. I had a hard time figuring this next one out. Elisa Duran. Are you Elisa Ray Duran? Lisa May Duran?
Yes, Your Honor.
We've been dealing with this for 6 years.
I'm ready to be done with it.
I hope so. You got charged with retail fraud in the 2nd degree, which was reduced to retail fraud in the 3rd degree. It was deferred, and then you didn't do what you were supposed to do. And somehow it started in front of Judge Pattison and it ended with me. You had multiple missed days, like 10. And you got arrested several times. You got arrested in July of 21 and you did 2 days. Then they reset July. You posted bond and then you didn't show up again in February. So you got arrested again in, Judge Pattison was mad. He did a bench warrant in February. Then you didn't show up and they forfeited your bond. You called in April of 22 to ask about what was going on. And you didn't show up.
I did call and reschedule at that time, Your Honor.
Yeah, well, they rescheduled, then you didn't come.
It's hard
Then you
for-
got picked up again in March of 25. And then you called and said your car broke down. And you got arrested again.
Your Honor, I have a question.
Just a minute. Trying to figure this out. And you did one more day. And they gave you, I guess you got arrested in Cass County.
Yes,
How long were you in the Cass County jail?
10 hours. Not
And
very
then,
long.
and then did they bring you to St. Joe County or you posted the bond?
No, I paid the bond for the St. Joe and for the Cass at the same time, but I'm confused about, you said I've been picked up a lot of times. I've only been arrested in Cass the last week. That was only the third time I've ever been put in handcuffs in my entire life.
Well, you got arrested in February of 21.
Was that when the charge for
No, you
the,
got arrested way back when in
Yeah.
2019.
yep, that was the last time I was
So
arrested
that
for
was one
this.
day. No, you got arrested again in February of 21. You posted on February 6th to February 8th. You spent 2 days in jail.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I didn't spend any time in jail though. I went straight from the car. I believe it was getting arrested for driving without a license. And my mom literally picked me up from the jail in the city. I didn't even get transferred to the county. And I got a license like I was pregnant with my daughter, so it must have been, she's 4, so like 4 years ago, I got a license right after I got in trouble for that. But yeah, I forgot about that because I didn't actually get booked through. I got picked up right from the city
All right,
jail.
well, I'm gonna bring an end to this. Judge Patterson started it. Now it ended up with me. You've already pled guilty. You pled guilty, reduced it from domestic violence, retail fraud, a theft from a second degree to a third degree. They agreed to defer it. You didn't do any of the deferral stuff, and then you promptly failed to appear multiple times. By my count, you spent 5 days in jail, 4 days in jail. No, 5. 1, 3, 4. And you forfeited $500 of bond.
I was young and dumb.
Yes.
And I was going through, I've had 3 kids since then. I have 4 children. I'm a single mom of 2, 3, 4, and 7-year-old. So I was trying to figure out how I could get this taken care of while needing a babysitter. My only babysitter I have is my mom right there, the one that brought me, and she has a pacemaker. So when I'm not able to come in, it's because if I were to, and this is not me being afraid to go to jail, I don't want to go to jail because of my kids, but the only babysitter I have is my mom, and she's afraid that I'll go to jail and then she won't be able to keep hold of the kids. That's the reason why this past year, before that, it was all excuses and I was not doing the right thing. But this past year, that's the reason why I haven't been able to get this taken care of. And I've been calling in about 2 weeks ago. You'll see on the phone records, I was calling in asking her if there's any way I can make a court point or like a court date, or if I can just walk in. And she was telling me, no, the only way for me to go about it was to contact a bail bondsman, turn myself in and have them bond me out, or to come sit in the court and hope that you'll see me.
You
But
could have done that. The law says you can just present yourself, but I'm gonna resolve this.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I've been trying. You can look at the phone records and see, and I paid off everything, the fines. I paid off that stuff this year too.
You've already pled guilty, and I'm just gonna. No deferral. I'm gonna give you 4 days jail credit, 4 days. You forfeit $500 of bond back in 21, so the fine is 0. The minimum fine I have to order is $125.
Okay.
Can you pay that within 30 days?
Yes, within 30 days I can pay
I'll
that.
make that due by October 17. It's 29 days. Anyway, that'll be over with. It
Thank
will
goodness.
show as a retail fraud on your record because the deferral did not enter, but it's done.
Okay.
You posted bond with a bonding company, that cost you some money. You forfeit $500 for the bond.
I had to pay him just to come out because that was a problem with trying to find a bondsman to come bond me out of this jailhouse here, because none of them want to come out for as low a bond as I had. So the bondsman had to be paid like tipped on the side just to come out here and take it because the bond was so low.
All right. Well, it'd been a lot easier if you'd showed up 6 years ago, but you're
Very
right.
true.
Sometimes when you're young, you don't have great judgment.
Oh, I was definitely dumb for sure.
Well, this is done. Pay that $125
And be done with
and
it.
be done with it.
Yes.
All right, you're good to go.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, that had a long tortured history. Sometimes when you're young and dumb, consequences follow you around for a while. Jeanette, we have the one last customer there who has insurance and registration. Would you see if you could catch up with Miss Stoll while she's out there?
What is her last name?
Her name is,
No, not.
her name was Duran
No, it's Abby's last. name.
Stoll,
Oh,
Stoll.
Stoll, okay.
Good morning. Which case, oh, did you just come in from a, Jeanette, here's the file on that. All right, that was good to bring closure to that. Let's call something else. We have an order to show cause in Danielle McNeese, who failed to appear on a use of a controlled substance. Abby, I appreciate your help. I just sent Jeanette out. There's a lady here who is charged with no insurance and no registration. She has proof with her that she has insurance and has registration. So Jeanette went that way and you came this way. So you got a lot on the going on this morning. All right, we're doing all right here. Anyway, Danielle McNeese is AWOL. A quick bail bonds posted her bail, and this is a show cause regarding them. I put my phone in my pocket in case I had to scan a driver's license, but beeping. Anyway, the bonding company has failed to appear, or has the defendant. Proceed with a bond forfeiture. As I said, I'm disappointed. I don't think they're even looking for these people anymore. I'd love to forfeit some big fat bonds and then maybe get some more cooperation. Anyway, no one's appeared for that show cause. Either the defendant or the bonding company will proceed with the forfeiture. They have a year to redeem it. So that's what they do. They just wait for them to get arrested. I'm gonna shut this off. She's meeting with that lady now. All right, let's talk to Elizabeth Antoine. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're from Howe, Indiana?
Yes,
Welcome to Centerville. You got a charge with driving without a valid license. We adjourned this until today, and you were gonna do some things to get squared away. We had to reset it for this morning, but you're here now. The prosecutors agreed to reduce this to a charge called allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code. That's the one that carries no points, doesn't get abstracted to your license, won't affect your ability to keep or maintain your driver's license. Do you understand?
yes, sir.
And that's what you discussed with the assistant prosecutor?
Yes,
All right, very good. You have a valid Indiana license now?
yes.
Good. All right, let's talk about this. Where were you going that day on July 5th?
We were looking for some fireworks.
Well, it's like the day after Christmas. Fireworks are a lot cheaper on July 5th.
Yeah,
People drive from Michigan to Indiana to buy fireworks. You had it backwards.
yeah, we were coming from somewhere else and then was gonna look for fireworks here.
All right, and your license was not valid at that time,
Yeah, no, it was not.
but it's valid now?
Yes,
All right, very good. I'm gonna reduce the fine to $75 crime victims' rights fee and a $50 state minimum fee. That's $200. Can you pay that today or do you need some time to pay it?
Yeah, she said I could do a payment plan.
Yeah, that's fine.
That would be great.
I'd like you to pay at least $50 per month.
Okay.
All right, you're good to go. This won't affect your driving privileges in Indiana. It is a misdemeanor, but a very minor one. I'll have the court officer take you out there and ladies will set you up on a payment plan.
All right, thank you.
You're
You're
good to go. Abigail had six more pre-trials. But I keep co-opting her for current customers. We're actually doing pretty good, Jeanette. I think everybody has shown up.
Did you do Frank Colton when I wasn't
Well,
here?
he went out to meet with her and he didn't come back.
Oh. Maybe they did a civil infraction at the.
Well, if they, yeah, he could just plead no proof of insurance at the counter. Doc Porter was before your time, but he had a daughter who married a Holton, and that kid is Doc Porter's grandson. He's been gone for many years, but he was a prominent doctor in Three Rivers for 50 years or more. This is an obscure story, but Three Rivers High School caught fire in like 1954. And it burned significantly on a Sunday morning. And they redid it. Of course, it's all been torn down now. It's where Riverside Church is. But there was a fire and Dr. Porter lived across the street and he had a color movie camera. And nobody but rich people had a color movie camera in 1954. So he had a film of the school burning, which I'm sure was the only existing film of that school burning. And I saw it when I was a kid. He had a movie projector and like I said, only rich people had that kind of stuff. Anyway, that film has been lost to obscurity after he passed away. I don't think his family knew. I don't know what happened to it, but I inquired about it. The only existing color film of the Three Rivers High School fire was lost to history and Judge and Doc Porter's estate. All right, so we have, well, maybe she did take care of Mr. Holton. Then she's dealing with our lady from Papa. Do we know the others showed up out there? Daniel Bent, Drew Bauer, Nicholas Fretz, George King, and Karen Merkel.
There are people staying out.
All right, then she's probably still working at it. Mr. Oh, he didn't get printed. All right, well, we'll stay our course here and wait for her to come back. We do have several pre-trials this afternoon and a couple of jail arraignments to deal with at 2 and 2:30. So we'll be all right. We're almost done for the morning. I don't drink coffee. There used to be a little coffee shop, kitty corner from the courthouse, about 200 steps from that back door. It was in a garage to that big brick house on the corner. And it was a really cool little thing. He did a wonderful job redoing it. It was all wood paneled and he had nice equipment. And on a day like this, when it was a break, we would go over there. I'd get a chai or something. I'd go with my court reporter. But we haven't done that in many years, and I'm too lazy to walk all the way across the street. It was 150 steps to that. Judge Noacker would interrupt court all day and walk over there and shoot the breeze.
Frank Holton and Rob are taken care of at the counter.
Okay,
So
all right, and so we don't know about the other pretrials? They're not your
they're not
bailiwick.
mine.
All right, well, thanks for your help. I guess I'll have Keith this afternoon for my other stuff. You can go to the fair now.
I might. It's a nice day. See you
Okay,
later.
all right, thank you.
Bye.
Well, we're done. I've said this before. Miss Jackson was one of the first 2 female attorneys to ever practice in St. Joe County. In February of 1980, she and Debbie Grubbs came here to practice. Miss Grubbs is retired and moved away, but Jeanette is still here. She started in the prosecutor's office in February of 1980, and I started in May of 1980. So she has seniority on me. She is also the longest serving assistant prosecutor in the history of the county. Yeah, she got 3 months on me. But that she retired.
All right, let's talk about that. Judge Middleton's courtroom rolled through a morning of smaller but still telling cases, each one a little snapshot of how the system handles license troubles, retail hiccups, and long-delayed resolutions. The judge's tone shifted with each defendant, showing patience, dry humor, and the occasional sharp reminder when excuses ran thin. We started with Andrew Shuck, a man whose suspended license case was tangled up in the aftermath of sobriety court and a stubborn interlock device. He explained that a dead car battery and missed notices from the Secretary of State left him driving without realizing his status. His demeanor was calm, maybe even a little weary, and he came armed with notes showing how he tried to track it all down. The prosecutor in court leaned toward patience here, with a plan to revisit in December when Shuck might be eligible to relicense. Middleton kept it lighthearted at points, telling him to put the date on his refrigerator so he wouldn't forget. It was a mix of caution and encouragement, a reminder that paperwork can trip you up just as much as bad choices. Next came Vincent Caldwell, also on a driving suspended charge. He looked more frustrated than defiant, explaining that the state gave him the runaround about getting his license back. Middleton reminded him that revocation is different from suspension. It takes more than just waiting it out. The judge even tossed in a Back to the Future quip about Caldwell's prior speeding ticket in Indiana, noting 88 miles an hour with a grin. Caldwell pled not guilty, and the court appointed him a lawyer, setting things up for October. The exchange was brisk, businesslike, with just enough humor to ease the sting of another revoked license case. Then came a case with an interpreter, Mr. Gonzalez Arredondo, facing no license and lapsed insurance. Through translation, he explained the insurance had expired by 2 days, and he only drove that morning for work. His boss had brought him to court, and he confirmed that normally he didn't drive. Middleton handled this one with care, confirming each answer, keeping the pace steady, and wrapping it up with fines that could be paid immediately. The mood here was more collaborative than punitive, with the court making sure the defendant understood every word. There was also Tiffany Robb, who faced no insurance and no plate. She'd since gotten both squared away and showed proof, which the prosecutor was willing to consider. Middleton praised her for coming prepared and kept things moving. A subtle reminder that sometimes showing up with paperwork in hand makes all the difference. One of the standout moments was Elisa Duran, whose retail fraud case had stretched out for nearly 6 years. Missed court dates, forfeited bonds, and repeated bench warrants made the file read like a saga. Duran admitted she'd been young and dumb, and now, as a single mom with 4 kids, she wanted to put it behind her. She explained the difficulties of childcare and the fear her mother, her only babysitter, had of her being jailed. Middleton listened, then drew the line. No more deferrals, credit for time served, and a modest fine. His tone was firm but not unkind, telling her plainly that this should have been over years ago. Duran, visibly relieved, thanked him for closing the door on a chapter that had haunted her since her early 20s. Finally, there was Elizabeth Antoine, who had a license issue out of Indiana. By the time she appeared, she had a valid license again, and the prosecutors agreed to reduce the charge to something minor. Middleton even joked about bargain fireworks on July 5th, easing the tension before wrapping it up with a payment plan and a reminder to stay on track. The courtroom atmosphere overall was calm, punctuated by moments of dry humor. Middleton chatting about family names, lost home movies of a school fire, and even his own lack of coffee breaks. Through it all, he showed his ability to pivot, encouraging with Shuck, lightly humorous with Caldwell, patient with Arredondo, pragmatic with Duran, and efficient with Antoine. It was a steady morning's work where the judge kept things moving, made sure people were heard, and tied up loose ends, sometimes 6 years in the making. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one,